if you are a senior, then your hair is a little different. So seniors, your hair cannot look like this. It needs to be straightened. So your first thing you need to do is straighten all of your hair, straight hair. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to, very much like what we do for our juniors, we are going to tie our hair up. So again, with a hairbrush, brush your hair back, pull it all into a ponytail, and start to work it to as high up your head as you can possibly get it. So as high as you can get it's really important here. I know that it feels ridiculous to have your hair sitting on top of your head kind of like a pineapple, but trust me, it is going to make your hair look so much better. It's going to mean that you need to tease it less. It's also going to mean that you already are starting from a much higher base, which means that you can actually get your hair much higher, which is the goal for many of the seniors. So it's not perfectly smooth, it doesn't need to be, but it is up high, and as you can already see, it's already starting to fall in a way that in real life is kind of weird, but for cheerleading is fantastic. So once you've done that, just bobby pin the bits that you're not happy with, that you want to be a little bit smoother. And then add the first of about 5 million layers of hairspray. Try and make sure this is kind of just going on your head, not on the actual ponytail. So you want it on this hair, just because your ponytail, believe me, is going to have a lot of hairspray in it by the end of this process. Once you have got your hair up and relatively happy with how you like it, you need to add your bow. So to do that, you literally tie the bow in your hair. Try and get it around the ponytail twice if you can, just because it'll make everything much more secure. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the tails, which is this part of the bow here, and you're going to pin them back behind the head. So into this bit of the head here. The reason for that is it will make the bow sit up a little bit better. Once your bow is in, you are ready to start teasing. So there's two really important things when it comes to teasing your hair for cheerleading. The first one is to make sure that you've got your ponytail up high enough. You can already see a little bit of my hair kind of through the back of the ponytail, and that's a good indication that it's high enough. The second thing you want to do is not try and tease in too big a sections. So to tease your hair, you're going to flip your ponytail. You're going to start at the bottom of the ponytail with a section about this big. You're going to hairspray it, and then you're going to tease just the bottom half. Once that's really teased up, and you've got like a bit of a bird's nest going on, you're going to separate it, and then you're going to grab another section, and repeat that process. So the most common thing that happens with this, guys, is people forget to put their bow in, which I did while filming this tutorial, which is why some of my hair is already teased. So make sure you put your bow in. If not, trying to get a bow over already teased hair is just not a thing that anyone really wants to deal with. So as you continue teasing, you're going to end up with something that looks like this, which is vaguely just a ginormous bird's nest. And you're going to continue to tease. I would recommend trying to pull from the back center of the ponytail. And again, even as you get further through, just keeping those sections nice and small. When you have gotten to the point where your hair is sitting well above your head, it's looking a little bit like a really terrifying bird's nest, and you've only got a little thin layer of hair left. What you want to do is start trying to make it look more like hair and less like a bird's nest. So I'd recommend hairspraying it once more and then just combing this a little bit. You will lose a little bit of the height, but it's going to make it smoother, and then when you put this top layer on top of it, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do that without feeling ridiculous. So then what I do is I do use a teasing comb for this, but a regular comb will do it as well, is I tend to break up these pieces of hair. I don't hairspray them beforehand, and I just lightly tease them and then start to push them back. The reason for that is this hair is quite heavy and quite thick in comparison to the hair that you've teased. And so if you just tease it a little bit to give it a little bit more spread, it's more likely to stay put. Whereas if you pull it all back as one heavy piece, it tends to all fall to the one place, and then your hair will not look smooth, and everyone will be able to see that you have a ginormous bird's nest under there, which is not actually a secret, but kind of ruins the visual appeal. So once you've done that and you've kind of placed this hair roughly where you want it to be, and it's tucked behind the bow, what you're going to do is, 3 guesses, hairspray it! So we're going to grab some hairspray, do a little bit of a crazy hairspray party, and then I'm going to brush this out with a regular comb just to make sure that anything that's weird and sticking up like that bit there isn't. This will often mean that you're unpicking some of the teasing underneath, which is not a bad thing, it just can be a little bit finicky. I'm going to make sure that the hair's coming down the sides nicely. So the way you do that is you kind of just move these the top of the bowl a little bit and just make sure that it's pulled down. Same thing on both those sides. I'm going to brush it over once more because I'm finicky. And then, ta-da! You have a real life cheer ponytail.